Afternoon all. I thought I'd show you what I've been doing the last few days on Chess World. If we go to the My Stuff, My Interface page, basically I've added a variety of different piece styles. There's someone called Armando Hernandez Marroquin who did several different piece styles, and the most popular on many chess sites is the Merida style. So the classic Merida, where you see the pieces are very clearly defined. It's a bit like the online equivalent of Staunton style pieces. But this guy also did 15 other designs, so Adventurer, and they each have a story behind them. If you go to ampersand.dk, you'll see the story behind Adventurer. For example, Adventurer, this is a true type font for diagrams and figurine notation. The bishop is special, but otherwise the font is traditional. So that bishop is special there, and otherwise it's traditional. Alfonso, Alfonso, again by Armando. This is a bit modern, but that's a mistake. It's actually, the pieces are copied from a Spanish chess book from 1283, believe it or not, when Alfonso the Wise ruled in Spain. So maybe it's got a story. Cases. Now this one apparently was revamped. The original font was by Matthew Leschmel, and it was originally for making diagrams with Matthew's program called Problemist, a program for solving chess problems. So Armando Marroquin redesigned the font since then. So Condal. And you might think this is a little bit gimmicky, but for a long time, there was no real queries about different piece styles, because Merida is like the Staunton, as I say, of online style. But these other ones are quite interesting. In particular, I like when the bricks in the rook, for example, here you see that in Condal. But one of my favourites is actually Leipzig. It's pronounced Leipzig. L-E-I for a German word is apparently Leipzig, and L-I is Leipzig. So Leipzig, I do like the rooks. So if we have a look at Leipzig, we can check out the rooks. You see the brickwork in the rooks. And I've had to make this work with click and drag and drop. So drag and drop and confirm and undo, or auto move. And I prefer to use a red outline. I know some sites have a background color, but that interferes with the background color of the board. So this is nice, I think, for the faint red outline effect. So this is really what I've been working on, putting these different piece styles. You might think, well, this has been on quite a few other sites for a while. It's true. It just really hasn't been such a major issue. But also, of course, the critical play page, I don't really like making too many changes there, but that is the greatest innovation, of course, which most users will see, just providing customizations there. So line is quite an interesting one. If we look at line, sometimes it is a bit dangerous to play with pieces you don't quite recognize. This is a geometric font. It's called, according to Ampersand's site, Lucena. So Lucena is, let's see, inspired by diagrams in the earliest chess literature. So if we go on magnetic, so magnetic, all by Marroquin, it's Magnetic Traveller's Chess Set inspired this font. Mark, modern simple design. So Marroquin, he's named it after himself, the Marroquin font here. This is his first font. Armando designed it to create diagrams with chess problems for children at the school Colegio La Salle de San Cristobal in the state of Chiapas in Mexico. So let's see how this applies to our main board. So yeah, the first few days last week I was trying to get these working, and the coordinates in this style of board on Chess World is fixed, and this has been years ago, about 13 years ago. These were available, the earliest ones, and the thought occurred to me, just as part of this project, to also bung in the option for changing the style of coordinates as well. So let's just quickly just finish checking these out. Maya, so from the highlands of Mexico, the name reveals the source of inspiration. Medieval, so that's a bit funny. You've got medieval kind of stuff going on there. I believe he spelt that wrong actually. I'm spelling it the English spelling of medieval. So a more classic font here. Special Merida, and that's obviously the same as Merida, but I'm just using PNG, which, if you do research on PNG, it's actually becoming very, very popular. It's overtaking GIF in popularity. Its file size is not much greater. It supports more colors and more transparency options. So, and it's using the new technology here I've introduced for more easily adding other pieces if necessary in the future. So motif. Okay, so motif, simple cut and bold lines. And blindfold, so there's a variant you can play blindfold, and you might think this is ridiculous, but it's an easy chess variant to add. You just make the pieces invisible. The site will still do the legal move validation, but I dare not. You can actually cheat though by using the analysis board and seeing what the position is. So I would only use it for unrated games actually. So we've got these fonts all done by this guy Marikin. I think he deserves more credit and fame really, because it's his Merida that really has taken the online chess world by storm. It's just, for me, it's the equivalent of Staunton design in the real world, and it's with that basic default that there hasn't been too many questions ever about changing the font. But I thought for interface configuration completeness, this would be an interesting project. But onto these other boards now. You see these what are called scalable boards. Now actually this needs to be changed. I've just noticed the piece style is not just Merida now, so we can pick a different color scheme, and this will be tiled throughout the board, and we can even put in coordinates now, or we can take off the coordinates, and also, believe it or not, we can actually rescale. We can do minus and it will rescale the whole thing, and it's all dynamic. It's dynamically done. I haven't been creating millions and millions of images in the last few days. It's the board is added dynamically, so I think you've got to be careful with some of this dynamic stuff, of course, because it makes use of CSS3. And the problem with a site like Chessworld, a lot of people are on mobiles and all sorts of devices, and CSS3 might not be available. So sometimes you need to use old but simple, tried and tested methods of image duplication for certain things. But if you can get away with CSS3, there's great effects. And here, we've got all these options now. So if I wanted to change, the board style coordinates, I could go for reddish coordinates, because I do like, when doing videos on YouTube, to have the coordinates, and I think most of you appreciate coordinates. So we could go very dark coordinates, dark border. So you see a sort of preview here of the coordinates. I do like the sort of wooden effects myself where possible. So I could change maybe the main board to a kind of wooden effect here, for example. Just if we have like maybe something like this might be nice with that border. I haven't really explored all the combinations myself, but you see the sort of effects that are now available with this plus and minus scaling. So I think Chessworld currently is now quite versatile, very versatile for interface configuration. And if you want, you can even crash out of the main barriers here. You can go plussing like this quite a lot. So yeah, this is the last few days, but getting this all working, with drag and drop and the move preview options, etc., and all the testing takes a lot of time. But I'm pretty pleased that these extra interface options are now available on Chessworld. And okay, so I hope you found that interesting. Comments or questions on YouTube, and maybe I hope to play some of you on the site. I'm playing quite a few of you on the site. I've got 132 boards waiting my move now. I've got actually hundreds of current games with quite a few of you on YouTube, which is going quite well. When I say quite well, my rating's still not completely destroyed, but okay. Many of you are playing excellent chess, well done, and I hope some of you will enjoy these interface options. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.